we're 20 years old, we're 60 full-time people, we've got
Yeah.
4 in Cheshire, not
Yeah.
just a postcode, but a physical office. We've got 5 in London,
Yeah.
a really lovely office in Farm Street on Berkeley Square. You
Yeah.
can have a look.
Too right.
And we're active in 7 different countries across the planet. So
Yeah.
it's more than just
You're not just a little
Ascot and its immediate
Ascot
environs.
is,
Yeah.
yeah.
And we've probably got
which,
4.
dare I say, did all right from just here. When you look at it and think, there's not a house that we see, certainly on the estate, that isn't you guys.
Which can be a bad thing, I mean, I think if certain customers are recommended to us by their solicitors, by people like
Yeah.
you who do the deal, by various design and build contractors that they'll get engaged with very early on, and they'll all talk about us, and they think, well, hang
Yeah.
on, I want to use somebody that I choose,
Yeah.
and somebody that I find, and I want to be a bit different.
Yeah.
And they think that there's a copy and paste thing going on,
Yeah.
but far from it.
But dare I say it, you can tell from you guys there clearly isn't.
There isn't, Charlie, but there is definitely, I think, look up there, you can see, there is a language behind what we do. And for me, there's no real science involved, it's just about proportion and creating amazing products that are pleasing on the eye. Every single design is bespoke. We've got 20 years of IP up there in the cloud, and it's very, very valuable to us. So, nobody ever gets the same thing. And for me, a design starts with, I said to Aaron earlier, that a design will start with the land.
Yeah.
There's no point in putting somebody's, I want one of those, in a plot where it's compromised. It's got to start with the sense of arrival, the orientation of the sunlight.
Yeah.
A lot of people want something strong and classical on the front side, but something funky and contemporary out back. All of the emphasis and focus on the environment these days, post-COVID, is about how we live, where we live, and enjoying life for the moment. So lots and lots of light, lots and lots of relationship with the outdoors, with the environment, with the real world.
Yeah. And do you see that the style that people are looking for, has that changed over recent years, or it's more varied?
A little bit. Currently, we're seeing a lot of GU postcode style, sort of arts and crafts, softer ridge lines. That's relatively in vogue. I think there will always be a place for strong, symmetrical, double-fronted, classically elevated property, and that's very prevalent on Wentworth, deservedly so, but equally we're seeing more of a demand now for some very contemporary and funky, very modern work. So yeah, it's...
Do you find that sort of local planning considerations would make a major part in that external appearance of a house? But you mentioned sort of the GUs and the arts and crafts style. Does that...
You have local authorities that will have a preference for one thing over another. We're seeing that very strong up in Cheshire East, and they're being quite resistant. We're seeing a lot of, historically you've seen a lot of picture windows, very sort of vaulted, very heavily elevated modern buildings with a lot of Cheshire brick but crystal glazing, that sort of thing. We are slowly trying to change that with what we do, because we're being asked for it from landowners in the northwest. So there is very much a style in your Reigate and Banstead,
absolutely,
in your Runnymede, and your Surrey Heath and so on. So we are seeing it more and more. There is definitely much more emphasis on sustainability through the planning process. But I think equally people want to tell a story through how they live now as well. The journey of building a house from concept through to delivery is quite a roller coaster, and it can take anything up to 3 years. And I think if it is to be a forever home, then it's important that a lot of these houses are designed for entertaining and for sharing. So being able to tell a story through that to friends and visitors in terms of how it embraces Sustainability in the environment, I think now is quite important. So we're all having to embrace
the change
in how we live.
Yeah, no, too right. And I mean, in general, for somebody thinking we want to set off on this roller coaster to have a dream home built, what would be the key bits of advice from you to get them set on the right track to actually enjoy the process and get the best possible results at the end?
Well, I'm bound to say this, but crucially, assemble the right team.
Yeah.
The right team from the outset will ensure the journey is as smooth as it can be, and the curveballs will be dealt with accordingly.
Yeah.
So it can be an arduous process, but definitely an emotional one. That the hand-holding process and a strong team where there is plenty of trust and integrity will see you through to conclusion. But it is a hell of a journey.
Yeah, and from my experience, that's why you guys are the market leaders and growing globally, because you've got that experience and quality, but actually it's the strength of the communication, direction, and the ear and the listening that you put into clients.
Listening is crucial. Treating the customer like a customer, helping them understand that we fully appreciate that the two precious commodities that we're in charge of managing, if you like, being time and money, are looked after very carefully. So, having experts through every process of the journey. We condense the REBA stages 7 into 4 stages. We refer to AD stages 1 to 4, so that's concept design, and that's then technical working drawings, or detailed design as we call it, the tender process, and then construction. So there's a lot of layers
absolutely
to navigate.
And that close management of them is fundamental to it.
Yeah, I think, Charlie, we've got this very customer focused, very consumer centric business, which is, I think, quite rare in architecture. So the reputation to us is everything. It takes a long time to build what we built,
but easy to throw it away if you don't.
It can be destroyed in a heartbeat if you get it wrong. So you've got to expect the unexpected and enjoy it.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
No, it's cool. Man, I love it. I was looking, haven't been here since you were halfway through all the refurb.
Have we ever done the VR presentation to you?
No. I mean, in terms of the VR, how's that been received? Is that really game changing for you with clients at early stages?
It's the design process is should be very immersive. And a design will inevitably evolve. So it's understanding how people live, how they intend to live, whether they entertain, how they if they cook, how many cars they have. Right down really to which side of the bed they sleep on. So really understanding everything about them is crucial. The VR process is quite immersive and helps you relate to or visualize something very carefully. It also helps us deal with certain aspects of the design which will evolve through walking through the internals. So you should have a look.
I'd love to. And I guess for you guys with your experience and technical skills, you probably don't need a VR to actually visualize how that space works and touch and feels. But for the jobbing public, looking at drawings and plans, etc., it is hard to understand
100%.
How the space works.
We partnered with a software company in South America, and that was very interesting. They've got some very good connections with Meta, and a couple of our team here now have really helped us escalate that service that we can provide, and help to walk through. Demanding people who are short of time, to be able to come in here and put on a set of VR goggles and walk around the interior.
Absolutely. And is it just Oculus, or is it?
No, we use Meta. We use Meta headsets now.
Are developers using it yet as a sales tool for off-plan sales yet?
Probably not in my experience.
Yeah. No, as soon as you said it's quite expensive.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah, it's something that we're able to, like the CGIs, it's something we're able to pretty much include in what we do.
Yeah. I mean, it's phenomenal, it's exciting.
Yeah, it's good.
I love just
you should have a look around before you go.
Yeah, definitely. That'd be lovely. The key one I think was actually talking about that journey and what's good for people to
I would say things that Erin would sort of make a toes curl, because I'm quite a realist, but it's, expect the unexpected. It's have a really good plan B and really have your expectations very carefully managed by, fundamentally assembling the right consultant in the first place. The budget is crucial. Understanding that, the supply chain, the cost of materials, a lot of what we have to deal with becomes a bit of a moving target. So, being able to adapt and put out the potential fires as they come along.
And in terms of cost of materials and labour, etc., going forward, do you think we're going to see any falling back in prices after Russia's all finished?
I'd love to think that's a possibility.
Yeah,
I'd love to think that's a possibility. Who knows with what's recently happened with this deal with the EU with Rishi? Who knows?
Yeah.
But I mean, around 18 to 23% in the last 12 months alone we've seen in terms of building, but also the supply chain.
Yeah.
And labour force. So yeah.
And that's been since COVID, I guess.
Post-COVID. Yeah. Post-COVID.
Yeah. That's superb. I think it's brilliant stuff there.
Yeah.
Thank you.